sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing.
Let's go!
I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to TD Fans Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Make sure you punch that like button on your way in the building. Shout out to Lansing Moore in the chat, said TD looked like he about to cook. Hey, we gonna have a good conversation, man. Y'all make sure you turn on your notifications so that you don't miss a beat. The notifications have not been going out to everyone, but y'all already know in the summer this typically happens quite often. I am gonna ramp up the streaming though to get the algorithm right. But shout out to the mod squad. Shout out to all the members of the channel. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Man, oh man, oh man, man. Listen. We got a few things to discuss. A new push to keep Ramsey in Miami could be on the way, especially with after what we heard this weekend. I'll talk about that. Also, Tua gets a Hall of Fame quarterback endorsement. Man, we got to break that down, get into that action as well. Just so much going on in Dolphins Nation. At the end of the day, we all want a better team. We want to win. So we're going to tackle that. Again, hit that like button coming up right here on TD Fans Talk. All right, ladies and gentlemen, a new push to keep Jalen Ramsey. Over this weekend, Tyreek Hill at it again, all right? But I think that we need to actually pay attention to what Tyreek Hill actually said. He basically said he's going to be meeting with Ramsey. He's going to be making a push to keep him in Miami. We cannot lose Ramsey. He is a Hall of Fame type cornerback. We have to have him in Miami. This was very interesting coming from Tyreek Hill. I know a lot of people, Tyreek just be talking. No, I honestly think Tyreek's actually going to try to talk to Ramsey and say, man, come on, let's stay in Miami, bro. Let's keep this thing in Miami. Let me tell you another reason. Tyreek knows this team isn't going to be – Tyreek knows if they want to actually do something special, this is their last hoorah. This is their last hoorah. I think that he's actually going to have a conversation with Ramsey and try to convince him to stay. And I know Ramsey's going to be able to respond to that, but here's what I will tell you. Tyreek's going to have to take whatever their response is back to the front office. I personally think that relationship is severed, but here's the deal. This could be a real reality if Ramsey end up playing for the Dolphins this year, because the longer it stretches out, ladies and gentlemen, it's becoming harder and harder to trade Ramsey. And they're not going to cut this man. That's too much money to just be cutting him, giving him, paying him, and letting him go. Somebody get him for free. At a minimum, you hold them hostage. At a minimum, you got to hold him hostage. But the problem is, I don't think they're going to be able to trade him for anything that's going to make them feel good about themselves. And this is why they may want to go ahead and start to play damage control. And maybe Tyreek Hill is that bridge. Maybe they send Tyreek on a mission. I mean, that could be a real reality, because I'm one who believes Ramsey's gone. But no, I don't think anybody wants to give Miami what they want to give unless they paying almost all the salary. And ladies and gentlemen, that is a terrible look for the Dolphins. That is a terrible look for the Miami Dolphins if they have to end up paying the salary. It's just not a good look at all. So I'm saying that to say this: the Dolphins are going to have to figure this out. They're going to have to figure this out. And Ramsey is a big piece to the puzzle. Let's put on our cap and say we still want to compete this year. By the way, I've been sitting back this weekend thinking about it. The Dolphins, man, this is their last hoorah. And I'm going to say this too. Even though I'm not optimistic about this season, say everybody does stay healthy. Just hypothetically, I know everybody's like, oh, here we go. Just hypothetically, everybody stays healthy. And say we're shocked by the O-line playing good football this year with the additions we made. And last but not least, and again, I'm not looking for everybody to be like, here we go again, but Tua takes another level. Just could we actually, this is what we've been waiting for all this time. Could that be a reality? Could we look up and say, yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. The O-line playing great. The defense playing well. Tua's healthy and he reached a new level and nobody's hurt. This is what we were talking about right here. Look at us. We're 14-3 and we're in the AFC Championship game. Is there still hope for that? Maybe, I don't know. And I guess we must be getting close to football, because here I am. I can feel my brain right now being delusional. What if? We're definitely getting closer and closer to football, because I'm actually buying into it myself. Mentally, I'm feeling good about what I'm saying right now. But this is what everybody says. Well, if the injuries killed us, the O-line. But what if the O-line plays well? We don't have all these injuries. The key players stay healthy, including Tua. And he reaches a whole new level, because he's still going to have his run game, right? Tyreek and Waddle's still here. So, can we get 2023 again, but Tua takes the next level in the big games and show up? I'm not saying that's going to happen, but is there a world where everyone's like, this is what we were talking about? We're finally showing it. I don't know. I have no clue. And on top of it, even before we get there, the likelihood of all of that happening is just tough, man. The likelihood of staying injury free, the likelihood of Tua going to another level, the likelihood of the O-line playing great, and then we got the cornerback issues, and that brings us right back to Ramsey. Does Tyreek say, man, we gotta give it this last hoorah, because what if those things happen? We're going to need you in that secondary. We can't let because here's the thing. This is what Miami doesn't want to happen. In a perfect world, right? You don't want everybody to stay healthy. Tua takes another level. The O-line plays well. The run game is back. Tyreek, Waddle getting off. And all of a sudden, our season's bombed out because the secondary was bad now. You see the Jenga that we could end up playing? Well, we finally got that, but now it's that. It's always something. So this is why I believe Tyreek when he said, man, we need Ramsey. I'm gonna talk to Ramsey. I'm gonna get Ramsey back. I know we all brushed it off like, oh Lord, Tyreek. But I think he's gonna make that real effort. You know why? Because Tyreek understands the value of what Ramsey brings to the team. And if everything goes right, you can't live in a world where everything went right and now there's a new wrong, which is the secondary. You need Ramsey. And then you add the fact that they are finding it very hard to trade him. They're finding it very hard to trade him. It's becoming very tough. And they're going to have to make some concessions to do it. And it's probably concessions that Miami know that they look real bad doing. We guaranteed him more money, and now we're not even going to be able to use him for the money that we guaranteed him as an extension. That's just terrible. We're throwing away money. So what do? And I'm going to say this. Last week, I was a 95% chance Ramsey's gone, 5% chance he's staying. I'm going to move that to a 75-25 now. 75, he's still going. But I'm telling you, the harder it becomes to trade him, Miami, man, they look really bad giving this man the guaranteed money they did and not even being able to utilize it because it's going against the cap regardless. And that's why they're trying to find a team who's going to be able to take over the amount that they want to be able to concede. They don't want to eat up all that contract. They don't. And we're talking about, well, we could probably get some money back from Ramsey post June 1st, but he ain't moved. So that's tough. And the Dolphins going to have to figure that out. But, hey, in the meanwhile, you have Agent Tyreek trying to figure it out and try to figure out a way to keep Ramsey in-house. Now, before we move on to the next topic, I got to elaborate a little bit more on this Ramsey topic because here's the problem, too. This is why the Miami Dolphins are in a bad dilemma with this situation. Because say there's a world where nobody wants to give you what you want and you do get Ramsey to say, man, all right, man, I'll just play one more year. Whatever, however that works, right? Then what happens to this quote-unquote new culture that you said you have now? Where all the players are vocally coming out where we don't have – negative distractions in the locker room anymore. Everybody know that was Ramsey Holland. Everybody knows that. And you got the current teammates technically like saying we don't have the negative distractions anymore. They know they're talking about him. That's not a good look. So that hurts the chance of him coming back. But if for any reason he has to come back and y'all play this the hard way, how does that bode with your culture? This is why, we're going to go back up to 85-15. He out of here, man. 85-15. He out of here. It's a contradiction to this message you're getting across with the new culture. It definitely is. So that's my thoughts on that, this quote-unquote new push to keep Ramsey. We'll see how that all plays out. But know that I'll be giving you, up-to-date updates right here on TD Finstalk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans, as soon as I get them. But, yeah, man, it's time to move on to the next topic of the day, Tua Tagovailoa. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Tua Tagovailoa gets a Hall of Fame quarterback endorsement. All right, I've already been put on notice. Omar Kelly has already called me out, saying tomorrow night on the Dolphins Collective, he can't wait to talk to me about this. Tua Tagovailoa getting an endorsement, according to him, from Drew Brees, which was very interesting. Teron Armstead giving him an endorsement as well. First and foremost, Omar Kelly, I can't wait for tomorrow night to obliterate this crazy narrative anyway. Okay. Listen, I've been on record. People need to stop this notion that I don't like Tua Tagovailoa, that I quote unquote hate Tua Tagovailoa. I don't hate anyone, first off. We need to stop this. For the record, okay? And now I'm probably going to have to say this every 5 streams. For the record, I was wrong about Tua Tagovailoa in the sense that he's not a good quarterback. He's a bad quarterback. I used to think Tua's a bad quarterback, man. This is terrible. I was wrong. Tua has proved to be a good quarterback in the NFL. A good quarterback. But that does not change the fact that I believe that you have to be better than good in order to help your team win a Super Bowl. You have to be better than good. You got to be elite or great or really good. But just good will win you games and get you to the playoffs, but that's as far as they can carry you. Really good can win you some playoff games, and if you got a great team around you, maybe get to the promised land. Great can win you some playoff games and get you to Super Bowls. Elite can just get you to Super Bowls. And that's without everything around you all the time, like Joe Burrow did, without everything around him at the time. One of the worst O-lines in the league. So let's be clear on that. Tua Tagovailoa is a good quarterback, okay? He is not this scrub bum that I once thought he might be. But he's good enough not to be good enough. I don't think he'll ever impact the game to where he gets you over the hump in a big moment, season on the line type situation. So for the record, that's my stance. So please stop saying, oh, TD thinks that Tua is the worst quarterback ever. That couldn't be further from the truth. I think he's the 18th best quarterback in the NFL. Period. Okay? Now, he does get a Hall of Fame quarterback endorsement that came out. Now, it's funny because people are twisting this endorsement. They are making it out to seem like Drew Brees said Tua Tagovailoa is the next Drew Brees, and he's great at this, that, and this. Drew Brees didn't say any of that. All Drew Brees said was Tua is most similar to me. Him and Purdy, by the way, he put both of them in it. He said, I look at guys like Tua and Purdy. They're most similar from the perspective of, so for those who don't comprehend well, from the perspective of, which means he is about to detail what they are similar with him, what they share. Okay? Not that they are him, but they are similar to him from the perspective of, now watch this. This is the funny part. This is where he comped himself to them and comped them to him. He said, they are most similar to me from the perspective of they're shorter. That's number one, he said. And number two, not strong arm guys. That's it. That's all Drew Brees said. You know, I look at guys like Tua and Purdy. They're most similar from the perspective of the shorter, not strong arm guys. That's what he said. And then he went on to say, but you got to look at their college experience. They have a lot of college experience. I played 3 years in college. And he goes on to say, you can't expect these guys to be world beaters. It takes time. And I agree with that. But how much time does it take, number one? And number two, that still doesn't guarantee that they will eventually be world beaters. So this is what they're touting as an endorsement. This is what they're adding me. Oh, I can't wait. Omar, you need to show tdphinstalk and Alan Poupar this. This is your evidence? Now, Teron Armstead gives a much stronger endorsement in his interview about how he's just like Breeze and he's that guy. But why am I going to listen to anything Teron Armstead has to say about a really close friend? Why would I listen to anything Teron Armstead has to say about a really close friend? If Teron Armstead was close and really friendly with Skylar Thompson and they asked about him, he'll probably tell you how great he is, and if he gets an opportunity, one day he'll shine. So the whole Teron Armstead thing, they're close friends. But Drew Brees, I know that they don't have that. They probably met each other through Teron or whatever, but this is what you call an endorsement. You got to stop. Y'all got to stop trying to say, just allow Tua to be as good as he is. Allow him to be as good as he is and hope that this year he turns it up to a whole new level that we've never seen. And you know what? This will be his last chance to do it, and I'm hoping he can. Don't know if he will, but you know what? We're open to the possibility because we don't have any choice. We have no choice. So yeah. We have to wait to see this year, TD, because they did not get our future QB. Listen, again, whether you think they have our future QB or not, this year we're riding with what we have, and we're going to see what that turns out to be. We're going to see what that turns out to be at the end of the day. Time always tells, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to open up the possibility for greatness this year, but we all know what it's going to take. It's going to take Mike McDaniel being at a whole new level as a coach. It's going to take that culture actually officially being new, rejuvenated. It's going to take so much. It's going to take injuries to not be running rampant through the roster. It's going to take the O-line to be officially revamped and good. I mean, it's going to take our secondary, some of these young guys, to step up and surprise us and be like, man, we got some young guys for the future now. That's what it's going to take. It's going to take what Buffalo did last year when they kind of stripped all the veterans away and still were able to do what they needed to do. It is going to take Tua getting to a whole new level. And I want to ask you all in the chat, do y'all think Tua can be better than he was in 2023? I'm just curious. I don't know. But do you think Tua has what it takes to be better than he was in 2023? Circumstance won't be better. The run game will be the same at best. The receiver core probably the same at best. The O-line hopefully the same at best, or hopefully better, but we don't know. That was a good O-line. Connor Williams, Teron, all them guys, Hunt, Jackson. I mean, that was actually, when you really think about it, it was a really good O-line. Even though we complain about it regardless, still to this day. What do y'all think? Time always tells. I don't have the answer for it, to be quite honest with you. I just don't. Time always tells. But we shall see. We're going to be here for it. We're going to be staying tuned to it. Ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, thank you so much for tuning in to TD Finstalk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. I will be live hopefully this evening around 8 p.m., 8 or 8:30 p.m. So come back through. I want to open it up, get some people on screen. Let's have a conversation. And we're going to start to have more and more guests moving forward as well, okay? Again, thank y'all so much for tuning in. We're going to have guests. We're going to start having a lineup where we bring certain people in the community and have some, collaborations. We got a great one tomorrow with the Blitz pickup. Y'all make sure y'all come through for that. That's going to be dope. And we might have one tonight, just waiting on the confirmation. But 8 p.m. tonight, I look forward to seeing you all. Love you. Appreciate you. Again, a new push to KEEP Ramsey, and Tua gets a Hall of Fame quarterback endorsement. Love y'all. I'll see y'all soon. Y'all take care. Peace. I'm out.